Introduction to Media Literacy and Power Dynamics. Media literacy is a crucial skill that equips individuals to critically analyze and engage with media content. It involves the ability to access, evaluate, and create media in various forms, including print, digital, and broadcast. In today's information-rich environment, media literacy helps us navigate the complex landscape of media influence and power dynamics. Understanding media literacy allows us to recognize how media companies wield power and influence public perception, shaping societal norms, values, and behaviors. One of the key aspects of media literacy is understanding the power dynamics inherent in media production and distribution. Media companies, through their control over content creation and dissemination, hold significant sway over public discourse. They decide which stories are told, how they are framed, and what information is emphasized or downplayed. This control extends beyond mere content. It influences public opinion, shapes cultural narratives, and can impact political and social outcomes. By developing media literacy, individuals gain insight into how media companies exert their influence. This involves recognizing biases in media content, understanding the commercial motivations behind media production, and analyzing the ownership structures of media outlets. For instance, when a few major corporations dominate the media landscape, their perspectives and interests can become dominant as well. This concentration of media ownership can lead to a narrow range of viewpoints being represented, limiting the diversity of information available to the public. Furthermore, media literacy helps us understand the role of media in shaping public opinion and societal values. Media companies often use their platforms to promote specific ideologies, reinforce stereotypes, or advocate for particular agendas. By critically engaging with media content, individuals can uncover underlying messages, question the validity of information, and better understand the broader context in which media operates. Another critical aspect of media literacy is recognizing the impact of media consolidation. In recent decades, there has been a significant consolidation of media ownership, with a few large corporations acquiring a substantial share of the media market. This consolidation can lead to a homogenization of content, where diverse voices and perspectives are overshadowed by the interests of a few dominant players. Understanding this dynamic is essential for grasping the implications of media monopolies and their potential impact on democracy and public discourse. Moreover, media literacy involves being aware of how media companies use data and algorithms to shape content and target audiences. With the advent of digital media, companies can track user behavior, preferences, and engagement patterns. This data is then used to tailor content to specific audiences, often reinforcing existing beliefs and creating echo chambers. Media literacy helps individuals recognize these practices and understand their potential effects on information diversity and public opinion. In summary, media literacy is a powerful tool for understanding the influence of media companies and the power dynamics at play. By developing critical thinking skills and a deeper awareness of media practices, individuals can better navigate the complex media landscape and make informed decisions about the information they consume. This awareness is essential for recognizing the potential risks associated with media monopolies and advocating for a more diverse and competitive media environment. Understanding media literacy not only empowers individuals, but also contributes to a more informed and engaged public, capable of holding media companies accountable for their role in shaping societal narratives. Overview of major media companies. The media industry is dominated by a handful of major corporations that wield considerable influence over what information is disseminated to the public. Understanding these key players is essential for grasping the dynamics of media consolidation and its implications. This section provides an overview of some of the largest and most influential media companies, including Disney, Comcast, News Corp, Viacom CBS, and Warner Media. 1. Disney. The Walt Disney Company is one of the most recognizable names in media and entertainment. Founded in 1923, Disney has grown from an animation studio into a global conglomerate with a diverse portfolio. Its major assets include the Disney theme parks, television networks such as ABC and ESPN, film studios, including Walt Disney Pictures, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and 20th Century Studios, and streaming services, Disney Plus and Hulu. Disney's acquisition of 21st Century Fox in 2019 significantly expanded its content library and market reach, positioning it as a dominant player in both traditional media and digital streaming. 2. Comcast. Comcast Corporation, founded in 1963, is a major player in the telecommunications and media sectors. Comcast's media holdings include NBC Universal, which operates a range of television networks, such as NBC, CNBC, and Universal Kids, film studios, including Universal Pictures, and streaming services, Peacock. Comcast is also a significant provider of cable television and internet services through its Xfinity brand. The acquisition of NBC Universal in 2011 marked a significant expansion of Comcast's media influence, integrating its cable distribution network with content production and distribution. 3. News Corp. News Corporation, established by Rupert Murdoch in 1979, is a major global media conglomerate. It operates a range of newspapers, magazines, and digital media outlets. Notable properties include The Wall Street Journal, The Times of London, and The New York Post. News Corp also has significant interests in book publishing through HarperCollins. The company restructured in 2013, splitting into News Corp and 21st Century Fox, with the latter focusing on television and film. In 2019, 21st Century Fox was acquired by Disney, but News Corp continues to influence media through its publishing and digital platforms. 4. ViacomCBS. ViacomCBS, rebranded from ViacomCBS Incorporated to Paramount Global in 2021, is another significant player in the media industry. The company was formed from the merger of Viacom and CBS Corporation in 2019. Its assets include a range of television networks, such as CBS, MTV, Nickelodeon, and Paramount Network, film studios, including Paramount Pictures, and streaming services, Paramount Plus. ViacomCBS's extensive portfolio allows it to reach a broad audience across multiple platforms, from cable television to digital streaming. 5. Warner Media. Warner Media, formerly Time Warner, is a major media conglomerate owned by AT&T until its spin-off in 2022 to Discovery Incorporated. Warner Media's assets include Warner Brothers, a leading film studio, HBO, a prominent cable network and streaming service, and CNN, a major news network. Warner Media's broad content portfolio spans movies, television, and digital media. The merger with Discovery created Warner Brothers Discovery, expanding its reach in both scripted and unscripted content, including popular networks like TLC and Animal Planet. Media consolidation through mergers and acquisitions. These major media companies have significantly shaped the industry through a series of mergers and acquisitions. Media consolidation has led to a concentration of media ownership in the hands of a few powerful corporations. This consolidation impacts the diversity of content and viewpoints available to consumers, as well as the competitive landscape within the industry. Mergers and acquisitions often lead to streamlined operations and cost efficiencies, but can also result in reduced competition and less varied content. In summary, the dominance of major media companies such as Disney, Comcast, News Corp, ViacomCBS, and Warner Media reflects a concentrated media landscape where a few players hold substantial power. Understanding these key players and their influence is crucial for analyzing the implications of media consolidation and its effects on content diversity, public opinion, and market competition. Media consolidation. Mergers and acquisitions. Media consolidation refers to the process by which a few large corporations acquire and control a significant share of the media market. This phenomenon has been driven by mergers and acquisitions, which reshape the media landscape by consolidating ownership and influencing the diversity of content available to the public. This section examines the process of media consolidation, the strategic motives behind it, and its impact on the industry. Process of media consolidation. Media consolidation typically involves the merging of companies or the acquisition of one company by another, leading to an increase in market concentration. This can occur through various mechanisms, including mergers, acquisitions, and vertical integration. Mergers occur when two or more companies combine to form a new entity, while acquisitions involve one company purchasing another. Vertical integration happens when a company extends its operations into different stages of production or distribution within the same industry. For example, Disney's acquisition of 21st Century Fox in 2019 is a notable instance of media consolidation. This $71 billion deal expanded Disney's content library significantly, adding popular franchises such as Avatar and X-Men to its portfolio. The acquisition also included Fox's television and film assets, enhancing Disney's market position in both traditional media and streaming services. Similarly, Comcast's acquisition of NBCUniversal in 2011 marked a major consolidation in the media industry. By integrating NBCUniversal's extensive portfolio of television networks, film studios, and cable channels with its own cable distribution network, Comcast created a powerful media conglomerate capable of leveraging content across multiple platforms. Strategic motives behind media consolidation. The strategic motives behind media consolidation are multifaceted. Companies often pursue mergers and acquisitions to achieve economies of scale, enhance market power, and expand their content offerings. Economies of scale refer to the cost advantages that arise when companies produce goods or services on a larger scale, leading to lower per-unit costs. By consolidating, media companies can streamline operations, reduce duplication, and achieve cost efficiencies. Market power is another significant motive. By consolidating, companies can increase their market share and exert greater influence over pricing, distribution, and content creation. This increased market power can enable companies to negotiate better terms with advertisers, distributors, and other partners. Expanding content offerings is also a key driver. Acquiring content libraries and intellectual property allows companies to diversify their content and attract a broader audience. For example, Disney's acquisition of 21st Century Fox provided access to an extensive range of films and television shows, enriching its content offerings for Disney+, its streaming service. Impact on the industry. The consolidation of media companies has profound implications for the industry and its consumers. One major impact is the reduction in the diversity of viewpoints and content. As fewer companies control a larger share of the media market, the range of perspectives represented in the media can become more limited. This concentration can lead to a homogenization of content, where similar viewpoints and narratives are repeated across different platforms. Consolidation can also reduce competition within the industry. Fewer players in the market mean less competition for consumers' attention and less incentive for companies to innovate or improve their services. This can result in higher prices for consumers and a reduction in the quality and variety of media content. Additionally, media consolidation can impact the local news landscape. Large media conglomerates may prioritize national and global content over local news, leading to a decline in local journalism and reduced coverage of community issues. This can weaken the connection between media outlets and their local audiences, diminishing the role of local news in informing and engaging communities. Conclusion. Media consolidation through mergers and acquisitions has reshaped the media industry, leading to increased market concentration and significant changes in content diversity and competition. While consolidation can bring about efficiencies and expanded content offerings, it also poses risks such as reduced diversity of viewpoints, decreased competition, and diminished local news coverage. Understanding these dynamics is essential for analyzing the broader implications of media consolidation on both the industry and its consumers. Impact of media consolidation on content diversity. Media consolidation, the process by which a few large corporations come to control a significant portion of the media market, has a profound impact on the diversity of viewpoints and content available to the public. This concentration of media ownership influences the variety of perspectives and information that reach audiences, affecting not only the nature of the content consumed, but also the broader public discourse. Effects on content diversity. One of the most significant impacts of media consolidation is the reduction in the diversity of content. When a few large companies dominate the media landscape, they often prioritize content that appeals to the largest possible audience and generates the most revenue. This can lead to a homogenization of content, where similar themes, narratives, and viewpoints are repeated across different platforms. As a result, the media landscape may become less reflective of the full spectrum of human experience and opinion. For instance, major media conglomerates often focus on producing blockbuster films and mainstream television shows that are designed to appeal to broad audiences. This focus on mass appeal can marginalize niche content and alternative viewpoints, leading to a media environment that is less diverse and more uniform. The consolidation of media ownership can also limit the range of voices and perspectives that are represented in news coverage, entertainment, and other media forms. Impact on local news. Media consolidation has also had a significant impact on local news coverage. As large media corporations acquire smaller, local outlets, there is a tendency to centralize operations and reduce the focus on local reporting. This can result in fewer resources being allocated to local newsrooms, reduced coverage of local events, and a decline in investigative journalism at the community level. The loss of local news coverage can weaken the connection between media outlets and their communities, diminishing the role of local journalism in informing and engaging citizens. In some cases, media consolidation has led to the consolidation of local news operations under a single corporate umbrella. For example, a large media conglomerate might own multiple local television stations or newspapers, leading to a reduction in the diversity of local news content and a potential loss of unique local perspectives. This centralization can also result in a uniform approach to news coverage, where local stories are reported through a standardized lens that may not fully capture the nuances of the community. Case studies of media mergers. Several high-profile media mergers illustrate the impact of consolidation on content diversity. The merger of AOL and Time Warner in 2001, for example, was intended to create a powerhouse in digital media and telecommunications. However, the merger faced significant challenges and was ultimately deemed unsuccessful. One of the key issues was the clash of corporate cultures and business models, which led to difficulties in integrating content and technology. The merger also highlighted concerns about the concentration of media ownership and the potential impact on content diversity. Another notable case is the acquisition of 21st Century Fox by Disney in 2019. This $71 billion deal significantly expanded Disney's content library and market reach, but it also raised concerns about the concentration of media power. The acquisition brought popular franchises such as Avatar and X-Men under Disney's control, further consolidating its position in the media industry. Critics argue that this consolidation limits competition and reduces the variety of content available to consumers, as a single company gains greater control over a wide range of media properties. Implications for public discourse. The impact of media consolidation on content diversity extends to public discourse and democratic engagement. When media ownership is concentrated in the hands of a few corporations, there is a risk that important issues and diverse perspectives may be overshadowed by the interests of dominant media players. This can lead to a narrow public discourse that fails to address the full range of societal concerns and viewpoints. In summary, media consolidation has a significant impact on content diversity, leading to a more uniform media landscape and reduced representation of alternative viewpoints. The consolidation of local news operations and high-profile media mergers further illustrate the challenges posed by concentrated media ownership. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for assessing the implications of media consolidation on both the media industry and public discourse. Case studies of media mergers. Case studies of media mergers provide valuable insights into the effects of media consolidation on the industry, content diversity, and public discourse. By examining notable mergers, we can understand the strategic motives behind consolidation, the outcomes of these deals, and their broader implications for media consumers and the industry as a whole. 1. Disney-Fox merger. The acquisition of 21st Century Fox by the Walt Disney Company, completed in March 2019, is one of the most significant media mergers in recent history. The $71 billion deal allowed Disney to expand its content library, acquiring popular franchises such as Avatar, X-Men, and The Simpsons. It also included Fox's film and television studios, cable networks, and international assets. The strategic motive behind this merger was to bolster Disney's content offerings and enhance its position in the increasingly competitive streaming market. Disney aimed to leverage Fox's content to enrich its streaming services, particularly Disney Plus and Hulu. The acquisition allowed Disney to compete more effectively with streaming giants like Netflix and Amazon Prime by offering a broader range of content to subscribers. However, the merger also raised concerns about the concentration of media power. By acquiring Fox's assets, Disney further consolidated its control over significant portions of the media landscape. Critics argued that this consolidation could lead to reduced content diversity and less competition in the industry. The merger also sparked debates about the potential impact on smaller content creators and independent voices, as Disney's dominance in media could overshadow alternative perspectives. 2. Comcast-NBC Universal merger. Comcast's acquisition of NBC Universal, completed in January 2011, was another major consolidation in the media industry. The $30 billion deal integrated NBC Universal's television networks, including NBC, CNBC, and Universal Kids, film studios, Universal Pictures, and cable channels with Comcast's cable distribution network and internet services. The strategic goal of this merger was to create a vertically integrated media conglomerate that could control both content creation and distribution. By combining its cable operations with NBC Universal's content assets, Comcast aimed to enhance its competitive edge and leverage cross-platform synergies. The merger also provided Comcast with access to a vast library of content, enabling it to offer a more comprehensive media package to its customers. The impact of this merger was significant. On one hand, it allowed Comcast to offer bundled services that combined cable television, internet access, and premium content. On the other hand, it raised concerns about reduced competition and potential conflicts of interest. With Comcast controlling both the distribution of content and the creation of that content through NBC Universal, critics worried that this vertical integration could limit consumer choices and reduce the diversity of media options available. 3. AOL-Time Warner merger. The merger between AOL and Time Warner, completed in January 2001, was one of the largest and most controversial media consolidations of the early 2000s. The $165 billion deal aimed to create a synergy between AOL's online services and Time Warner's content assets, including CNN, HBO, and Warner Brothers Studios. The strategic vision behind this merger was to capitalize on the growing influence of the internet and integrate online and traditional media. The merger was expected to create a powerful media company capable of dominating both digital and traditional media markets. However, the integration faced numerous challenges, including cultural clashes between the two companies and difficulties in merging their business models. The AOL-Time Warner merger ultimately failed to achieve its strategic goals and was considered a failure by many industry analysts. The deal highlighted the complexities of media consolidation and the potential risks of integrating diverse business operations. The merger also raised concerns about the concentration of media ownership and its impact on content diversity and competition. 4. AT&T-Time Warner merger. The acquisition of Time Warner by AT&T, completed in June 2018, was a landmark deal in the media and telecommunications sector. The $85 billion merger combined AT&T's telecommunications and distribution capabilities with Time Warner's content assets, including HBO, Warner Brothers, and CNN. The merger aimed to create a vertically integrated media giant that could offer a comprehensive range of services, from content creation to distribution. AT&T sought to leverage Time Warner's content to enhance its streaming services and compete more effectively in the evolving media landscape. The deal faced regulatory scrutiny and legal challenges, with concerns about potential anti-competitive effects and the impact on content diversity. Despite these challenges, the merger was approved and AT&T gained access to valuable content assets to strengthen its position in the media market. Conclusion. These case studies of media mergers illustrate the complexities and implications of media consolidation. While mergers can create efficiencies and enhance competitive positioning, they also raise concerns about reduced content diversity, increased concentration of media power, and potential conflicts of interest. Analyzing these mergers helps us understand the broader impact of consolidation on the media industry and its consumers. Understanding monopoly power in media. Monopoly power in media refers to the dominance of a single company or a small group of companies over a significant portion of the media market. This concentration of power can have far-reaching implications for content diversity, competition, and public discourse. Understanding what constitutes a monopoly, how it applies to media companies, and the potential dangers of monopolistic practices is crucial for analyzing the impact of media consolidation on society. Defining monopoly power. A monopoly exists when a single company or entity dominates a market to the extent that it can control prices, exclude competitors, and influence market conditions. In a monopolistic market, the dominant company has significant power to set prices and terms of service without concern for competitive pressures. This power arises from the company's ability to control a large share of the market, reducing consumer choice and stifling competition. In the context of media, monopoly power can manifest in several ways. A media company with monopoly power might control a large number of television networks, radio stations, newspapers, and digital platforms. This dominance allows the company to shape public discourse by controlling what information is available, how it is presented, and which viewpoints are emphasized or marginalized. Application to media companies. Several major media companies exhibit characteristics of monopoly power through their extensive control over various media platforms. For example, Disney's acquisition of 21st Century Fox significantly expanded its media empire, giving it control over a vast array of content, including popular film franchises, television networks, and streaming services. This concentration of content under a single corporate umbrella raises concerns about the potential for reduced competition and limited diversity in media offerings. Similarly, Comcast's ownership of NBC Universal allows it to integrate content creation and distribution across television networks, film studios, and cable channels. This vertical integration can limit competition by consolidating both the production and distribution of media content, potentially reducing the diversity of viewpoints available to consumers. Potential dangers of monopolistic practices. Monopolistic practices in the media industry pose several potential dangers. Reduced competition. When a few companies control the majority of the media market, competition diminishes. This can lead to higher prices for consumers, reduced incentives for innovation, and a lack of diverse media options. With fewer competitors, media companies may have less motivation to improve their services or offer unique content, resulting in a more homogenized media landscape. Less diversity in viewpoints. Monopoly power can limit the diversity of perspectives and viewpoints presented to the public. When a single company or a small group of companies controls a significant portion of the media, they can influence which stories are covered, how they are framed, and which viewpoints are highlighted. This can lead to a narrowing of public discourse and a lack of representation for minority or dissenting opinions. Increased control over public opinion. Media companies with monopoly power have the ability to shape public opinion by controlling the flow of information. This control can be used to promote specific agendas, reinforce certain ideologies, or suppress alternative viewpoints. The concentration of media power in the hands of a few can lead to a skewed representation of events and issues, impacting how the public perceives and understands the world. Impact on journalism integrity. Monopolistic media practices can also affect the integrity of journalism. With fewer independent media outlets, there is a risk of reduced investigative journalism and a greater emphasis on profit-driven reporting. Media companies with monopoly power may prioritize sensational or lucrative stories over important, but less commercially viable topics, compromising the quality and depth of news coverage. Conclusion. Understanding monopoly power in media involves recognizing the concentration of control within a few dominant companies and the implications this has for competition, content diversity, and public discourse. Monopolistic practices in the media industry can lead to reduced competition, less diverse viewpoints, increased control over public opinion, and potential impacts on journalism integrity. Analyzing these dynamics is essential for evaluating the broader effects of media consolidation and advocating for a more competitive and diverse media environment. Potential dangers of media monopolies. Media monopolies, where a single company or a small group of companies dominate the media landscape, pose several significant risks to both the industry and society. The concentration of media power can have far-reaching implications, affecting content diversity, market competition, and public discourse. Understanding these potential dangers is crucial for addressing the challenges associated with media consolidation. 1. Reduced competition. One of the primary dangers of media monopolies is the reduction in competition. When a few companies control a substantial portion of the media market, they effectively eliminate competitive pressures that drive innovation and consumer choice. In a competitive market, companies strive to differentiate themselves, improve their products, and offer better services to attract and retain customers. However, in a monopolistic environment, the lack of competition can lead to complacency and reduced incentives for improvement. Without competition, media companies may have less motivation to invest in high-quality content or innovative technologies. Consumers might face higher prices for media services, as monopolistic companies can set prices without worrying about competitors undercutting them. Additionally, the reduction in competition can limit the variety of media options available to consumers, as dominant companies may focus on a narrow range of content that appeals to the largest audience, neglecting niche interests and diverse viewpoints. 2. Less diversity in viewpoints. Media monopolies can significantly impact the diversity of viewpoints and content available to the public. When a small number of companies control the majority of media outlets, they have the power to shape public discourse by deciding which stories are covered and how they are presented. This concentration of media ownership can lead to a homogenization of content, where similar narratives and perspectives are repeated across multiple platforms. The lack of diverse viewpoints can result in a narrow representation of societal issues and a limited understanding of different perspectives. Important voices, including those from minority groups or dissenting opinions, may be marginalized or excluded from mainstream media coverage. This can lead to a skewed public discourse that does not fully reflect the complexities and diversity of society. 3. Increased control over public opinion. Media monopolies grant significant control over public opinion to a few dominant players. With the ability to influence which information is disseminated and how it is framed, monopolistic media companies can shape public perceptions and attitudes. This control extends to the promotion of specific agendas, ideologies, or corporate interests, potentially leading to biased or skewed reporting. The concentration of media power can also facilitate the spread of misinformation or propaganda. When a single company or a small group of companies controls the narrative, there is a risk that inaccurate or misleading information could be propagated without sufficient scrutiny. This can undermine the integrity of public information and erode trust in the media. 4. Impact on journalism integrity. Monopolistic practices in media can have detrimental effects on journalism integrity. In a monopolistic environment, the focus may shift from providing accurate and investigative journalism to prioritizing profitability and commercial success. Media companies with monopoly power might favor sensational or lucrative stories over in-depth investigative reporting, compromising the quality of journalism. The consolidation of media ownership can also lead to reduced resources for independent journalism. With fewer media outlets and less competition, there may be fewer incentives to support investigative reporting and critical journalism. This reduction in journalistic rigor can result in less accountability for powerful institutions and less transparency in public affairs. 5. Threats to local and independent media. Media monopolies can also threaten local and independent media outlets. As large media conglomerates acquire smaller, independent media organizations, there is a risk of diminished local coverage and reduced support for independent voices. Local news organizations and independent media often play a vital role in covering community issues and providing alternative perspectives. Their decline due to consolidation can weaken the fabric of local journalism and limit the diversity of media options available to the public. Conclusion. The potential dangers of media monopolies include reduced competition, less diversity in viewpoints, increased control over public opinion, and threats to journalism integrity and local media. Understanding these risks is essential for addressing the challenges posed by media consolidation and advocating for a more competitive and diverse media landscape. By recognizing the implications of media monopolies, stakeholders can work towards solutions that promote a healthier and more balanced media environment. Regulation and antitrust laws. Regulation and antitrust laws play a crucial role in addressing the challenges posed by media consolidation and preventing the emergence of monopolistic practices in the media industry. These legal frameworks are designed to promote competition, protect consumers, and ensure a diverse and competitive media landscape. This section provides an overview of key antitrust laws, regulatory bodies, and their efforts to maintain competition in the media industry. 1. Overview of antitrust laws. Antitrust laws are designed to prevent anti-competitive practices and promote fair competition in the marketplace. In the United States, several key antitrust laws govern the behavior of businesses, including the Sherman Act, the Clayton Act, and the Federal Trade Commission Act. Sherman Antitrust Act, 1890. The Sherman Act is one of the earliest antitrust laws and is aimed at preventing monopolies and restraining trade. It prohibits agreements or practices that restrain trade or commerce and criminalizes monopolistic behavior. Under this act, companies that engage in anti-competitive practices, such as price fixing or market allocation, can face legal action. Clayton Antitrust Act, 1914, the Clayton Act complements the Sherman Act by addressing practices that could lead to anti-competitive effects, but may not be immediately apparent. It prohibits mergers and acquisitions that significantly reduce competition or create monopolies. The Act also addresses issues such as price discrimination and exclusive dealing arrangements. Federal Trade Commission Act, 1914, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, Act established the FTC, an agency responsible for enforcing antitrust laws and protecting consumers from unfair trade practices. The FTC investigates potential violations of antitrust laws and takes enforcement actions to prevent anti-competitive behavior. 2. Role of regulatory bodies. Several regulatory bodies are responsible for overseeing and enforcing antitrust laws in the media industry. These agencies play a crucial role in reviewing mergers and acquisitions, monitoring market competition, and ensuring compliance with legal standards. Federal Trade Commission, FTC. The FTC is a key regulator in the media industry, responsible for enforcing antitrust laws and protecting consumer interests. The FTC reviews proposed mergers and acquisitions to assess their potential impact on competition. If a merger is deemed likely to reduce competition or create a monopoly, the FTC may take legal action to block the transaction or require modifications. Department of Justice, DOJ. The Antitrust Division of the DOJ also plays a critical role in enforcing antitrust laws. The DOJ reviews mergers and acquisitions, investigates anti-competitive practices, and litigates against companies that violate antitrust laws. The DOJ and FTC often collaborate on major merger reviews and enforcement actions. Federal Communications Commission, FCC. The FCC is responsible for regulating telecommunications and broadcasting in the United States. While its primary focus is on communication infrastructure and services, the FCC also addresses media ownership rules and promotes diversity in media ownership. The FCC reviews media ownership regulations to ensure a competitive and diverse media landscape. 3. Efforts to maintain competition. Regulatory bodies and antitrust laws employ various strategies to maintain competition in the media industry. These efforts include merger reviews. Agencies such as the FTC and DOJ conduct thorough reviews of proposed mergers and acquisitions to assess their impact on market competition. They analyze factors such as market concentration, potential competitive effects, and consumer welfare. If a merger is found to be anti-competitive, regulators may block the deal or impose conditions to mitigate competitive concerns. Enforcement actions. Regulators take enforcement actions against companies that engage in anti-competitive practices, such as price fixing, collusion, or abuse of market power. Enforcement actions can include fines, penalties, and legal proceedings to address violations and restore competitive conditions. Media ownership rules. The FCC implements media ownership rules to prevent excessive concentration of media ownership and promote diversity. These rules limit the number of media outlets a single entity can own in a given market and ensure that multiple voices are represented in local and national media. 4. Challenges and criticisms. Despite the efforts of regulatory bodies and antitrust laws, challenges and criticisms persist. Some argue that regulatory agencies may not always effectively address the complexities of media consolidation or keep pace with rapid industry changes. Additionally, there is ongoing debate about the balance between regulation and market forces and the effectiveness of existing laws in preventing monopolistic practices. Conclusion. Regulation and antitrust laws are essential for maintaining competition and preventing monopolistic practices in the media industry. Key laws such as the Sherman Act, Clayton Act, and Federal Trade Commission Act, along with regulatory bodies like the FTC, DOJ, and FCC, play a critical role in overseeing media consolidation and ensuring a diverse and competitive media landscape. While efforts to regulate and enforce antitrust laws are crucial, ongoing challenges and criticisms highlight the need for continued vigilance and adaptation to evolving industry dynamics. Balancing regulation and market forces. Balancing regulation and market forces is a complex challenge in the media industry. Effective regulation is essential to prevent monopolistic practices and ensure a competitive, diverse media landscape, while market forces drive innovation and economic efficiency. Striking the right balance involves navigating the interplay between government intervention and free market dynamics to promote both competition and industry growth. This section explores the importance of finding this balance, the challenges involved, and potential approaches to achieve it. 1. Importance of balancing regulation and market forces. Striking a balance between regulation and market forces is crucial for several reasons. Promoting competition. Regulation helps prevent monopolistic practices and ensures that multiple players can compete in the media market. However, excessive regulation can stifle innovation and limit the ability of companies to respond to market demands. A balanced approach ensures that competition is preserved without unduly hindering market dynamics. Encouraging innovation. Market forces drive innovation and technological advancement. Media companies invest in new technologies, content formats, and distribution methods to gain a competitive edge and meet consumer demands. Effective regulation should support innovation by providing a framework that encourages investment and creativity while preventing anti-competitive behavior. Protecting consumers. Regulation aims to protect consumers from unfair practices and ensure access to diverse and high-quality media content. However, overly restrictive regulations can limit consumer choice and lead to inefficiencies. Balancing regulation with market forces ensures that consumers benefit from both competitive pricing and a wide range of media options. 2. Challenges in balancing regulation and market forces. Several challenges arise when attempting to balance regulation and market forces. Rapid industry changes. The media industry is characterized by rapid technological advancements and evolving consumer preferences. Regulatory frameworks may struggle to keep pace with these changes, potentially leading to outdated or ineffective regulations. Adopting regulations to address new market realities while maintaining a focus on competition and diversity can be challenging. Regulatory overreach. There is a risk of regulatory overreach, where excessive or overly prescriptive regulations inhibit market dynamics and stifle innovation. For example, stringent media ownership rules designed to prevent concentration might inadvertently limit the ability of media companies to achieve economies of scale or invest in new technologies. Market concentration. While regulation aims to prevent excessive market concentration, achieving this goal without impeding market efficiency can be difficult. Striking the right balance requires careful consideration of both competitive dynamics and the potential benefits of scale and integration for media companies. Global considerations. Media companies operate in a global marketplace, and regulatory approaches can vary significantly between countries. Balancing domestic regulatory objectives with international market dynamics adds another layer of complexity. Coordinating regulatory efforts across borders while addressing local market conditions is a significant challenge. 3. Approaches to achieve balance. Several approaches can help achieve a balance between regulation and market forces. Flexible regulatory frameworks. Developing flexible and adaptive regulatory frameworks can help address the challenges of rapid industry changes. Regulations that can be updated or adjusted in response to technological advancements and market developments ensure that regulatory approaches remain relevant and effective. Evidence-based regulation. Adopting evidence-based regulatory approaches involves using data and research to inform regulatory decisions. By analyzing the impact of regulations on competition, innovation, and consumer outcomes, regulators can design policies that effectively address market issues without unnecessarily constraining market forces. Encouraging self-regulation. In some cases, encouraging self-regulation within the industry can complement formal regulatory approaches. Industry standards and best practices developed by media companies and trade associations can address specific challenges while allowing for greater flexibility and innovation. Stakeholder engagement. Engaging with a broad range of stakeholders, including media companies, consumer groups, and industry experts, can provide valuable insights into the impact of regulations and market dynamics. Collaborative approaches that consider diverse perspectives can lead to more balanced and effective regulatory solutions. 4. Case studies of balanced approaches. Several case studies illustrate effective approaches to balancing regulation and market forces. European Union's Digital Markets Act. The European Union's Digital Markets Act, DMA, aims to regulate large digital platforms while promoting competition and innovation. The DMA includes provisions to prevent anti-competitive practices and ensure fair access to digital markets. By targeting specific practices and allowing flexibility in implementation, the DMA seeks to balance regulatory oversight with market dynamics. FCC's Media Ownership Rules. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, has periodically reviewed and updated media ownership rules to address market concentration while considering industry developments. Recent efforts have focused on adapting rules to new media platforms and technologies while maintaining a commitment to diversity and competition. Conclusion. Balancing regulation and market forces in the media industry is a complex but essential task. Effective regulation promotes competition, protects consumers, and ensures a diverse media landscape, while market forces drive innovation and economic efficiency. Addressing challenges such as rapid industry changes, regulatory overreach, and market concentration requires flexible, evidence-based, and stakeholder-informed approaches. By navigating these complexities, policymakers and regulators can support a vibrant and competitive media environment that benefits consumers and fosters industry growth. Future directions in media regulation and monopoly prevention. As the media landscape continues to evolve with rapid technological advancements and shifting consumer behaviors, the future of media regulation and monopoly prevention will require adaptive and forward-thinking approaches. Addressing the challenges posed by media consolidation and ensuring a competitive, diverse media environment will necessitate innovative strategies and proactive policy measures. This section explores potential future directions in media regulation and monopoly prevention, including emerging trends, evolving regulatory frameworks, and the role of technology in shaping the media landscape. 1. Embracing technological innovation. The media industry is increasingly influenced by technological innovations, including advancements in artificial intelligence, AI, big data, and digital platforms. Regulators will need to embrace these technologies to enhance oversight and enforcement. AI and algorithmic transparency. AI and algorithms play a significant role in content recommendation and distribution on digital platforms. Regulators may need to establish standards for algorithmic transparency to ensure that these technologies do not reinforce biases or limit content diversity. By requiring platforms to disclose how algorithms influence content curation, regulators can promote accountability and fairness. Data privacy and security. With the growing importance of data in the media industry, privacy and security concerns are paramount. Future regulations may focus on strengthening data protection laws to safeguard consumer information and prevent misuse by media companies. Ensuring robust data privacy measures will be crucial in maintaining consumer trust and promoting a healthy media environment. 2. Adapting regulatory frameworks. Regulatory frameworks will need to adapt to the changing media landscape to address new challenges and opportunities. Dynamic media ownership rules. Media ownership rules may need to evolve to address the complexities of digital platforms and global media consolidation. Regulators could consider implementing more flexible and dynamic ownership rules that account for the convergence of traditional and digital media. This approach would help prevent excessive concentration while accommodating the changing nature of media ownership. Cross-border coordination. As media companies operate globally, international coordination will be essential for effective regulation. Future regulatory efforts may involve greater collaboration between national and international regulatory bodies to address cross-border issues and ensure consistent enforcement of antitrust and competition laws. Consumer protection in digital spaces. As digital media consumption increases, regulators may need to focus on protecting consumers in online environments. This includes addressing issues such as misinformation, deceptive advertising practices, and digital monopolies. Strengthening consumer protection measures will help ensure a fair and transparent media ecosystem. 3. Promoting media literacy and public awareness. Media literacy and public awareness will play a crucial role in addressing the challenges of media monopolies and consolidation. Educational initiatives. Expanding media literacy education can help consumers critically analyze media content and understand the impact of media ownership on content diversity. Educational programs that emphasize critical thinking and media analysis will empower individuals to navigate the media landscape more effectively. Transparency and accountability. Promoting transparency in media ownership and content creation can enhance public awareness of media consolidation's impact. Regulators and media companies could collaborate on initiatives that provide consumers with clear information about media ownership structures and potential conflicts of interest. 4. Encouraging innovation and competition. Fostering innovation and competition will be essential for a vibrant and diverse media landscape. Supporting emerging media players. Encouraging the growth of new and independent media players can counterbalance the influence of large media conglomerates. Policymakers may consider providing support for startups, independent journalists, and alternative media outlets to enhance competition and diversify media content. Facilitating market entry. Reducing barriers to market entry for new media companies can promote competition and innovation. Future regulatory approaches could focus on creating a level playing field for emerging media companies and reducing regulatory hurdles that may impede new entrants. 5. Addressing future challenges. The future of media regulation will involve addressing emerging challenges. Misinformation and content moderation. As misinformation becomes a growing concern, regulators may need to address the responsibilities of media platforms in moderating content. Balancing content moderation with free speech rights will be a complex challenge, requiring thoughtful and nuanced approaches. Monopolistic practices in emerging technologies. As new technologies such as virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, become more prevalent, regulators will need to consider how monopolistic practices may emerge in these areas. Ensuring competitive practices in emerging technologies will be crucial for maintaining a diverse and dynamic media environment. Conclusion. The future of media regulation and monopoly prevention will require adaptive and forward-thinking strategies that embrace technological innovation, update regulatory frameworks, and promote media literacy. By addressing emerging trends and challenges, regulators can work towards a media landscape that fosters competition, protects consumers, and ensures a diverse array of voices and perspectives. Balancing regulation with market forces, supporting emerging media players, and addressing new challenges will be key to shaping a vibrant and equitable media environment for the future.